When someone finally realizes that no one's coming to save them, no boss, no government, no miracle, it hits different. That's the moment the game changes. People spend years blaming their parents, their circumstances, the economy, or even bad luck, all while never touching their own potential. But here's the truth. The wealth mindset begins with owning everything. Your wins, your losses, your laziness, your breakthroughs. If your money beliefs are built around external excuses, you're handing over the steering wheel of your future. A person with a financial freedom mindset doesn't just hustle harder, they think differently. They stop seeing money problems as external issues and start asking internal questions. What am I doing that's keeping me broke? What subconscious money blocks am I carrying around? This is where the shift begins. Personal accountability isn't a buzzword. It's the entry point to rewiring your financial psychology. Millionaire habits don't just fall into your lap. They're built on decisions made when no one's watching. Want a real-life example? Look at someone like Sarah Blakely, the billionaire founder of Spanx. She didn't wait for a green light, she made one. She invested her last $5,000, owned her results, and reprogrammed her mind for wealth by refusing to play victim. That's the rich versus poor mindset in action. Rich minds say, "How can I solve this?" Poor minds say, "Why does this always happen to me?" See the difference? One creates momentum, the other repeats cycles. And the moment you get this, it opens the door to something way bigger. Most people talk about the next level like it's some mythical land. They throw it around in captions and hashtags, but few actually get there. Why? Because reaching the next level in life, especially financially, means leaving behind the version of you that's comfortable. It demands that you evolve, stretch your identity, and embrace discomfort. The real wealth mindset isn't about more money. It's about more growth. And growth? Well, that's usually found where your excuses live. It's not about just working harder. It's about becoming someone else entirely. People with a millionaire mindset aren't simply clocking in extra hours. They're thinking differently, moving strategically, and exposing themselves to risk. They study industries like AI, renewable energy, or real estate not to get rich overnight, but to position themselves. That's the secret. Reprogram your mind for wealth by chasing identity upgrades, not just income bumps. Take business, for instance. To break into the next level, you can't rely on the same tactics that built your comfort zone. Think about Jeff Bezos. He didn't just scale Amazon by selling books. He imagined an entirely different infrastructure and bet on future logistics. That's next-level thinking. That's flipping a scarcity versus abundance mindset switch. The next level is real, but it's not unlocked with effort alone. It's accessed when your belief system gets an upgrade. Most people are living with financial advice passed down from folks who never had money. They believe myths like, buy a house and you're set, or saving is the key to wealth. But here's the reality check. Owning a home can be dead money if it's draining you with no return. The financial psychology that builds wealth doesn't obsess over status symbols. It focuses on assets that produce. It's not about how much you earn. It's about how you multiply what you've got. The wealth mindset understands that money is a tool, not a trophy. Rich people don't just stash cash. They put it to work. They buy into income-generating assets, dividend-paying stocks, cash-flowing rental properties, scalable online businesses. They don't let money sit, they make it move. And that's where most get it twisted. They're stuck in a poor mindset thinking frugality is the same as strategy. It's not. Cutting coffee won't make you rich. Leveraging money intelligently might. Ever heard someone say, "If I just made more, I'd be fine"? That's the biggest money belief trap there is. Because even if you handed that person $1 million, they'd lose it. Why? Subconscious money blocks. They don't have the internal wiring to sustain wealth. That's why so many lottery winners go broke. They never reprogrammed their mind for wealth. Money myths create false safety. But the truth? It sets your financial future on fire, if you're ready to face it. Here's the truth no one likes to admit. Poverty is often passed down like an heirloom. Not the lack of money itself, but the mindset that created it. Kids grow up hearing things like, money doesn't grow on trees, or we can't afford that. And those beliefs get wired deep. It's not just what they're taught. it's what they absorb. That's the power of financial psychology. If you don't consciously break that chain, you unconsciously repeat it. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who break free. Mental rewiring. A wealth mindset isn't about getting lucky. It's about unlearning toxic money beliefs and choosing different patterns. Millionaire habits don't just pop up when you land a six-figure job. They show up when you stop treating money like the enemy. When someone shifts from, "I can't afford it," to, "How can I afford it?" that's when the game changes. There's a reason so many self-made millionaires read books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad or The Millionaire Fastlane. Not for inspiration, but for rewiring. They know they have to actively reprogram their mind for wealth or they'll fall back into the rich versus poor mindset loop. Inheritance is just money. But mindset, that's legacy. If your mind's still playing by old rules, even a fortune won't save you. Because the real inheritance is mental. Excuses are expensive. They cost time, energy, and the future you say you want. The financial freedom mindset kicks in the moment you realize that complaining doesn't pay. Action does. People waste years saying things like, "I don't have time," but binge watch Netflix nightly. Or, "I can't afford it," while spending on things that don't multiply money. These aren't facts, they're just dressed up fears. And fears, if left unchecked, become financial ceilings. The truth is, there's always someone out there doing more with less. That's the uncomfortable part, right? People with millionaire habits don't wait for perfect timing. They create it. They invest while others hesitate. They take a sales job to master persuasion. They start businesses in their downtime. They don't say, "I'm not ready." They say, "Let's figure it out." That's not hustle culture, it's ownership. It's moving from a scarcity versus abundance mindset. Want a practical test? Try going a week without saying, "I can't." Replace it with, "How can I?" It'll feel awkward at first, but that's your brain rewiring itself. That's you breaking subconscious money blocks. Action is the proof that belief is real. You can journal all day about your dreams, but unless your calendar matches your goals, it's just talk. And the crazy thing is, once you start moving, something unexpected happens. Success isn't random. It's engineered through daily systems. People think millionaires just got lucky, but luck favors those with structure. A true wealth mindset is built on the boring stuff: routines, repeatable processes, and long-term discipline. It's not flashy, but it works. Show me someone who tracks their spending, follows a strategy for investing, and sticks to it no matter what, and I'll show you someone on the path to financial freedom. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. Want financial success? Build habits that support it. Set automated savings, schedule deep work sessions, analyze your spending monthly. Whether it's budgeting with apps like Inab or learning to analyze real estate cash flow, the magic is in the method. Millionaire habits aren't about intensity, they're about consistency. You don't need motivation, you need a system that works when you're tired, bored, or busy. Think of relationships or fitness. It's not the grand gestures, it's the small, consistent actions. Business is the same. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You need a working model and the discipline to follow it. Whether it's the EOS system in business or the FIRE strategy for early retirement, find a methodology that fits and stick with it. The rich don't guess. They test, measure, and adjust. And once that habit muscle is built, it opens the door to something just as important. Let's be real, people do business with people they like. You could be the smartest person in the room, but if your energy's off, you're invisible. Likability isn't fluff, it's leverage. In the world of money mindset, it's a secret weapon most folks overlook. Want more opportunities? Build better connections. Think of Oprah, her entire empire is built on trust and relatability. Or the Girl Scouts, who outsell corporate giants with a smile and a compelling story. Skills will get you in the room, but likability keeps you there. That doesn't mean being fake. It means being genuine, being the kind of person others root for. People with a financial freedom mindset understand this. Relationships compound faster than money. They know that one good connection can unlock a business deal, a mentorship, or a new level of thinking. And that's why they invest just as much in emotional intelligence as they do in strategy. This isn't about being a people pleaser, it's about being magnetic. Having integrity, listening more than you speak, asking better questions. People remember how you made them feel. When you build that kind of energy, doors open effortlessly. Because in a world obsessed with what you know, the real wealth is often found in who knows you. And once you master that, you start playing a totally different game, especially in one area people always overcomplicate. You can have the best product in the world, but if you don't know how to sell it, good luck. The wealthy don't just create value, they know how to position it. Most people build a better mousetrap and wonder why no one's biting. Here's the harsh truth. The market doesn't care about your product, it cares about its own problems. So if you want to master the money mindset, start thinking like your customer, not like a seller. Effective marketing is never about you, it's always about them. That's why great copy doesn't say, "Our software is powerful." It says, "Here's how to save 10 hours a week." It speaks to pain points and dreams. That's how millionaire habits show up in business. They focus on emotional intelligence, not ego. Whether you're freelancing, building an e-commerce brand, or selling consulting, the moment you shift from features to benefits, everything changes. Want to see this in action? Look at Apple. They don't just sell tech, they sell identity. Their marketing says, "You're a creator, a visionary, a leader." That's psychological selling. When you learn to tap into the subconscious drivers of your audience, you're not just selling, you're influencing. And when you combine that with a true financial freedom mindset, you don't need to chase clients, because they start coming to you. That kind of attraction leads to a whole new form of discipline. There's a reason so many high-level CEOs have backgrounds in martial arts or the military. It's not coincidence, it's conditioning. These disciplines instill structure, mental toughness, and clarity under pressure. And let's be real, that's exactly what you need to build wealth. A strong money mindset doesn't come from motivation, it's forged through discipline. The kind that makes you wake up early, stick to a budget, and stay focused when distractions come knocking. Martial arts teaches you that repetition builds mastery. You don't just learn a kick, you perfect it over hundreds of hours. The same goes for wealth. Want financial freedom? It's daily deposits into habits like investing, reading, learning new skills, and holding yourself accountable. People with millionaire habits don't do things until they get tired. They do them until they get results. That's what separates the wealthy from the wishful. Take Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL and now a best-selling author and leadership coach. His mantra? Discipline equals freedom. Sounds simple, but it's revolutionary. Most think freedom means doing what you want. But in financial psychology, true freedom comes from having systems, schedules, and self-control. That structure becomes your superpower. And when discipline becomes part of your identity, you stop fearing mistakes. Schools teach us to avoid mistakes. Get the right answer. Don't fail. But in real life, especially when it comes to money, mistakes are the curriculum. The financial freedom mindset reframes failure as feedback. Rich minds don't say, "I failed." They say, "I learned." That's the secret most people miss. The wealth mindset expects mistakes. It doesn't fear them, it mines them for gold. Think about it. How many people avoid investing because they're afraid to lose money? Yet some of the wealthiest people on the planet took hits early on. Warren Buffett lost billions and still kept going. The difference? He didn't internalize the loss, he studied it. That's how you reprogram your mind for wealth. You don't avoid the pain, you analyze it, grow from it, and keep moving. Growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens where things go wrong. Want a power move? Start journaling your financial mistakes. Not to shame yourself, but to study yourself. What patterns do you repeat? What beliefs keep you stuck? That's how you expose subconscious money blocks. Mistakes aren't the problem, refusing to learn from them is. Because when you flip your mindset around failure, you unlock a version of yourself who's not just resilient, but unstoppable. You've just tapped into a mindset most people never even get close to. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Because knowing this stuff is one thing, living it is where everything changes. Are you ready to stop repeating the same patterns? To reprogram your mind for wealth? To build millionaire habits even when no one's watching? Ask yourself, What's one belief you're holding onto that's keeping you broke? What would happen if you finally let it go? How would your life look a year from now if you started applying even one of the things you heard today? Consistently? If this video hit home for you, then don't just walk away. Plug in. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and come back every single week. And if you really want to make an impact, share this with someone you care about. A friend, a sibling, your parents, anyone who needs the shift. Because when one mind changes, it can spark a ripple that changes generations.